I remember this day so vividly. It was a crisp fall afternoon. The leaves had fallen from the oak trees and the ground was covered in acorns. Zion was only 2 and Willow was 4, and all 3 of us headed out on one of our daily walks behind the house. That's one of the reasons I love calling this place home so much. We gathered a handful of acorns and carried them home. Not thinking much of it, just another simple afternoon together. But a few months later, 2 tiny oak trees began to sprout. They've been sitting in nursery pots ever since, waiting for me to decide where they belong. I always knew they needed a special place, somewhere I can watch them grow year after year, just like my kids. So today, I'm giving my vintage pots new life, and these little oak trees are finally getting a home of their own. My hope is that they'll thrive here, and every time I see them, they'll remind me of that ordinary afternoon that somehow became one of my favorite memories. You might remember when I planted a tree in this pot, and the internet definitely let me know how they felt about it. Turns out they were right. The tree was not happy there. So this time I'm giving these little oaks a much better start. I drilled drainage holes, added a layer to keep the soil in place, filled them with rich, well-draining soil, and planted each one with the hopes that one day they'll become something much bigger. But for now, they'll spend their time soaking up the California sun, growing a little stronger with every season. It's funny how something that started as a handful of acorns on a walk with my kids has turned into this. Sometimes the smallest beginnings end up becoming the little things that last the longest. I'm planting each one randomly throughout the yard, and I cannot wait to watch them thrive. The first thing that I did was bring each pot to its forever home. Since I have 2, I didn't want them side by side. I wanted each one to have its own moment, its own place in the garden. So this one made its way to the top of the yard. Right now, it's just a tiny oak in an oversized pot, but I can already picture what it will become. One day it'll stretch high above the garden, full of life, quietly anchoring this entire place. Sometimes you just have to see the vision long before anyone else can. This time we were doing it right. These little trees carry far too many memories for me to lose them. So the first step was starting over. We emptied every bit of the old soil from the pot. And let me tell you, there had to at least be 4 bags in there. It took a while, but it was worth every shovel. Then we made the trip to Lowe's for everything we needed: pea gravel, perlite, I think that's how you pronounce it, orchid bark, and fresh soil. Because if these trees are going to spend the next few years growing here, I want to give them the very best start possible. And of course, I couldn't pass up gardenias. These are going to go in the planter beds we've been building. I started filling the base of the pot with the biggest rocks I could find, anything sturdy enough to create a solid foundation. Once that layer was set, I moved on to the pea gravel. 2 bags of it went in next, slowly building that base layer piece by piece. Per ChatGPT, this is supposed to help with drainage so the roots don't just sit in the water and end up getting too soggy and end up with root rot that will eventually kill the plant over time. After the rocks settle into place at the bottom of the pot, there's a quiet moment where it finally starts to feel like something real is being built, not just filled. And the next layer is garden fabric. This is where intention begins to take over, because the rocks aren't there to hold the soil. They're there to create space. Space for water to move, to escape, to never sit and never be stagnant around the roots. But without something to separate it all, time would undo all the work too quickly. Soil would slowly sip down, compacting into the drainage below, and what was meant to breathe would start to suffocate. So the fabric comes in like a gentle boundary, not to restrict, but to protect. It rests over the stones like a quiet promise that everything above it will stay where it's meant to be, while everything below it can still do its job unseen. Water will pass through, roots will stretch and search, but the soil will stay light, lifted, held just enough so life can actually thrive here. It's the part that nobody sees once the planting is done, but it's the reason everything works. After the rocks settle and the fabric is in place, there's this quiet shift where the pot stops being layers and starts becoming a system. Then comes the soil. But not just soil alone, this is where perlite and orchid bark comes in, because regular soil on its own is too heavy. And roots, especially in containers, don't need weight, they need air. They need pockets of space where they can breathe, stretch, and find their own way without drowning. So the perlite is added, these small air pieces that feel almost like nothing, but change everything. They create lift, tiny spaces that keep water moving instead of pooling. The orchid bark is the texture, the structure. It breaks the soil open in different ways, creating larger pathways for air and drainage, almost like a corridor of roots to explore. Together, they turn dense soil into something alive and breathable, because it's never about filling a pot, it's about building a home where roots don't just survive in the water, but learn how to live with it. Now it's time to finally plant this oak tree we've been growing for 2.5 years, carrying many quiet memories in every branch. From a tiny beginning to something strong enough to meet the earth on its own, it's more than just a tree now. It's a living piece of our story, and its roots finally find home here. It feels like the rest of this space is coming alive right along with it.
When you're older, I'm gonna miss the way you play with toys. Your little voice, the way you smile, every single noise. The years go so fast, I wanna make them last. Slow down, don't grow up, never forget my love.
It's officially that time of year again, and it is ladybug season. While we were picking up everything we needed to plant the trees, I couldn't leave without grabbing a couple containers of ladybugs. Releasing them into the garden has become one of our favorite little summer traditions. It's such a simple moment, but watching the kids carefully open the containers, a giggle as the ladybugs crawl onto their hands, and race to see who spots the first one flying away. Those are the memories that end up meaning the most. Sometimes the smallest traditions becomes the ones that we remember forever. The next day, I found myself making the drive back out this way to pick up a marketplace find. Since I was already in the area and it's definitely not a quick trip from home, I couldn't pass up the chance to stop back into this favorite little shop. Because when a faraway marketplace find collides with this shop, it's a match made in heaven. So many of you have loved seeing it in my last video, so this time I thought I'd slow down and give you a full walkthrough. The shop owner definitely said that she can ship small goods, so if you see anything that you like from the video, reach out and tell her that I sent you. This potting bench is definitely on my wish list. I would love to have this outside on the patio. I just picture so many good garden days with that potting bench. Everything in this shop is absolutely stunning, but if you've been around for a while, you already know my heart belongs in the garden section. I could wander it for hours. What makes this place so special, though, is the way that every corner feels intentionally curated. From the primitive woods, the timeless furniture, the vintage pieces, everything has a story to tell. It's the kind of shop that leaves you feeling inspired before you can even make it to the checkout. Since we got married in Paris, you knew I could not leave without this bonjour welcome mat. After grabbing a couple goodies, it is now time to head home and get back to our DIY projects. Back home, we turned our attention to the second planter bed. Before building upward, we wanted both foundations set, strong, level, and ready to carry everything that comes with it next. Block by block, this backyard is beginning to transform. Right now, it's mostly dirt, scattered materials, and a whole lot of hard work, but something is changing. For the first time, I can look across the yard and see more than what it is. I can see what it's becoming. The vision that once only existed in our minds is finally starting to take shape. So this is your reminder that what you see on social media is rarely an overnight success. What you're looking at is years of dreaming, planning, saving, and showing up one project at a time. We could have laid grass, called it good, and had it be finished, but we wanted to build something that felt different, something custom, something magical, a space that truly felt like us. That kind of vision doesn't happen overnight. It takes patience, it takes hard work, and sometimes it means staring at piles of dirt and stacks of cinder blocks while trusting they'll become something beautiful. Now I can finally start to see it. I'm no longer looking at cinder blocks. I can see stone walls, lush grass, kids running through the sprinklers, evenings spent outside, and memories waiting to be made. Every long day, every delay, every ounce of effort will all be worth the wait. And maybe that's the part of social media that doesn't always capture. It doesn't show the weekends that disappear into projects, the plans that change halfway through, the unexpected expenses, or the moments you wonder if you'll ever reach the finish line. But those are the moments that make the finished result mean so much more. One day, no one will remember what this yard looked like when it was nothing but dirt and cinder blocks. They'll remember birthday parties, summer nights, barefoot kids chasing each other through the grass, conversations around the fire pit, and all the other little moments that made this place feel like home. That's what we're really building, not just a backyard, but a place where life happens. And I think that's always worth waiting for.
If my life is like a garden, I've been pulling weeds for years, some more stubborn interwoven, but I'm finally seeing some things a little more clear.
I want to thank you guys so much for watching another weekend chapter with us. We will see you in the next one. Bye.